Hi, and welcome to Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. Mike here, and as with me always is Richard.
Hello.
This episode we're going to talk about the new DC 52.
Yes.
Pretty big in the comic community right now. Probably one of the biggest things, honestly, we've seen in the comic industry, not just comic books, the industry we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the conventions that's going on right now because we're right in the middle of the fall convention season.
And then we're going to follow up with our pick of the week, which might surprise everybody just a little bit. It's not a comic.
You have to stay tuned.
So this month gave us the introduction of DC Universe's New 52.
Right. One little thing. Flashpoint was
Flashpoint,
done,
yes.
and now it's now 52.
Yep, the slate has been wiped clean. It's a brand new, well, I hate to say brand new day. That's the wrong comic. That's the wrong industry, right? That's the wrong company right there. But it's in the same vein. It's a fresh start.
Right. We're learning these characters right from the beginning on some of them. Some of them's been around for a little bit. We're jumping right into some of their adventures.
Right.
It's a little bit of everything, and
Yeah.
I think it's just some new stories.
For the first story, the very first book that came out in 52 was Justice League #1.
Right.
And I gotta tell you, it set the bar for the new 52 for me. It really summed up in one issue what the new universe was all about.
Yeah, and this one takes place five
5
years
years.
in the past in the
Right.
52 universe.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff like in some books, but we'll get into that a little
Yeah,
later.
it gave us the introduction to let us know that no, in this universe, in this time period right now for the book, that nobody even really knows what superheroes are, much less who specific superheroes are.
Right. Yeah, because like no one even knows they're even superheroes.
Yeah,
Because like Batman's considered a vigilante.
yeah. It did a really nice job of taking characters that we've known for decades and still introducing them in a new, fresh way that made you, while you was reading, it's like, okay, I know who Batman is. I know who Hal Jordan is. But as you're reading it, you're like, I'm being reintroduced to these guys, and it worked for me.
And it kind of explains why Hal Jordan has the ring still.
Yes.
Because later on stuff happens and it's neat. It's
It
good to
is
see
really-
him a little more fresh, a little more,
Yeah, and I liked the take on the new Batman and the new Hal Jordan.
Right.
The big thing going around that people talk about is they took very highly from the Green Lantern movie from Ryan Reynolds.
Well, they kind of did.
They did, and which is fine. I mean, he was a little bit more arrogant, a little bit more cocky, not as stern and serious as the Hal Jordan we used to know was.
Which probably is good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's bringing that audience that could have watched the movie, could have liked it, to
Yeah.
bring them in the future, and that's what this whole relaunch was, to bring in new readers.
And what I liked specifically about the book was I liked that they introduced Batman and Green Lantern together because even in the old universe, these were two characters that never really got along. You're talking polar opposites. Batman, who's all about the dark, scary, brooding, and you've got Green Lantern, who's all about being the light and a little bit more lighthearted. It showed pairing these two together that the Justice League is a team of people who probably shouldn't even be in the same room,
Probably not.
much less the same team. And it's very interesting to see where it's going to lead and how they're going to lead up to the Justice League.
Yeah. Especially, the fish out of the water himself, Aquaman. How does
Exact-
he fit into all this?
yes, exactly.
And we're going to learn that late down the road.
Yeah.
This is going to be a story, it's 6 issues?
Mhm.
Where it's all going to tie everything together, and this is how the new Justice League is formed.
And the other highlight was the very last page of Justice League for me because this was it. This was my new Superman. This was the Superman I was going to be looking at for the immediate future. And I'm going to be honest with you, I liked it.
Yeah.
I did. It's like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And I flipped that page and looked at it and I studied it and analyzed it and went, I like it.
Yeah.
And that leads up to, was there anything else about 50?
No, the Justice League, it's doing what it's going to do.
Yeah.
And the Jim Lee art is great.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
he's top notch. Always is. Always has been.
Especially when it comes to Green Lantern, just the detail of his imagination Jim Lee's put into his constructs was just phenomenal.
Okay.
Quick rundown for me. Unlike a lot of people, I I wasn't able to pick up every book as it came out. You know, I did my favorites. You know, I did my pulls to kind of test the waters. There was a few that on recommendation I picked up, and I'll let you know. The first one was Action Comic Books. This was the book for me. This was the new Superman, and I enjoyed this book so much. I really did. I've been a Superman fan since I was 2, and the idea of them just redoing this character scared the hell out of me. But after reading this book, I fell in love with it.
Yeah. Reminds me a little of Peter Parker, a little too much.
A little too. That's exact. I've heard that more than once. That they reminded him of Peter Parker. But see, for me, I think that works.
Yeah.
Because the big thing that always turned people off of Superman was the goody two shoe, unrelatable aspect of Superman. But in this book, they made him a little bit more Peter Parkerish. They made him more relatable. He doesn't get everything quite right.
Right.
His life isn't going exactly. I mean, he lives in a crappy apartment.
And he gets beat around a lot.
And he gets beat around a lot. I mean, seeing
the train beats him.
Oh yeah, and we're seeing a Superman pre-flight,
Yeah.
still leaping over buildings,
But not Smallville.
but not Smallville.
This is a whole nother take.
This is a whole nother take.
Which I really was thankful for.
Me too.
I was so concerned that they was going to do that whole Smallville, and that's been done.
Yes.
That was TV. Now let's do something else.
Right, and I liked that he was a little bit more cocky, Spider-Man-ish. You know, he's got a mouth on him. You know, but I like that they also still retained his sense of morals.
Oh, yeah.
He was cocky, and yeah, he's jumping off buildings with bad guys, but he's still doing it for the right reasons. I like the idea that he's seen more of a vigilante to the police.
Yeah.
But I liked that they still were able to emphasize that he's a man of the people.
Oh, yeah.
The people stood by him, and it reminded me a lot of, to make the Spider-Man correlation, Spider-Man 2, the scene in the subway,
Oh.
when all the people gather around Peter Parker to protect him. You got, in like one panel, you got that impression from the people of Metropolis that he's our hero.
You're right.
And the idea that
He's there for them.
he's there for them. And the other controversy was that him, Superman, Clark, and Lois aren't together anymore.
Yeah. But Lois is around.
Lois is around.
So don't worry about that. She's there.
I like the relationship that they're building a relationship between Jimmy Olsen
Right.
and Clark. Makes a little bit more sense, you know, because they're about the same level when it comes to journalism.
Right.
You know, Clark's doing the stories, but he hasn't hit Lois's level quite yet. And just the interaction, you know, like Lois doesn't, it's like, who are you talking to? Clark. Clark who? You know, Clark Kent. Oh, that guy. My only hope is that, yes, we all want to see down the line Clark and Lois get together again. Take your time. I don't want to see Clark constantly pining over Lois.
Oh, definitely.
I like the love triangle, but expand a little bit, you know.
Right.
Don't make it just him like,
I still like to see Lana.
oh, I would love, yes, have them bring back Lana. Exactly. One thing I'm going to jump, speaking of Smallville.
Oh, jeez.
Another quick one was Green Arrow.
This was Smallville.
This was Smallville. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the book. It was one of my one of my
the
favorites.
art team is greatest.
Oh yeah.
The team up with Dan Jurgens and George Perez. I mean, this is
Yeah,
it. The art is just beyond belief.
And I like the story. They borrowed heavily from Smallville, but again, it worked. You saw him in something more contemporary, not just the Robin Hood. You know, it worked, and I enjoyed that one. Let's see, Justice League International, or as I like to call it, Booster Gold. I'm all about the booster. I enjoyed the book, especially for anybody who read
the original
Justice League and Justice League Generation Lost. You're going to enjoy this book because it's got the same vibe. The only problem I had with this book was the overall tone of the 52, where we don't know exactly what's going on everywhere.
Yeah. And Batman was going to be left out because they didn't want him part of it, but at the same time he was coming through and trying to be part of it. So.
And the only thing that got me was in this book, Batman sticks up for Booster very much.
Which was it was different.
It was different, but the thing is though, for the new universe, it kind of didn't make sense because if you read old Booster Gold, the old series, it made sense because Booster let Batman in on what was going on.
Yeah.
And it showed Batman that Booster is a hero. But we don't know why We don't know why Batman's sticking up for Booster as much as he is in this book just yet.
So it could be something that happened before this too.
Exactly.
That's what I still don't like about this. This just didn't start right thing. Some books are picking up in the middle. Some books are starting at the beginning. It's kind of confusing in a way.
It is. You're exactly right. That's my biggest beef so far of the New 52 is that it's like the timeline that we're seeing isn't straight. We're seeing, okay, this book's over here. This book's taking place here. This book's
That'd make
taking.
a great poster, DC. Oh.
There you go. The timeline. I want to know. Well, the formation of the Justice League International is to have a government syndicated Justice League.
Yeah.
But so far in our readings, we don't know anything really about the Justice League yet.
Yep.
This book is about 2 months too early.
Yep.
In my book.
Yeah, I think they should have bounced around, but it's kind of neat to see stuff ahead of time. So
yeah,
this it'll in the long run, you're gonna have to read everything as a whole, and that's the other little peeve I've had about this whole thing.
Exactly.
You do have to read everything.
It's almost like I made the correlation to the season premieres of like Doctor Who, where in one episode they tease so much about what's going to happen in the next year, and you're sitting there scratching your head like, who is that? Why are they talking about that? But then at the end of the season,
it all made sense.
It all made sense, and it could be a really good thing because then it's going to get you to go back and reread everything.
Or buy the graphic novel.
Or buy the graphic novel. The other one, real quick, Batgirl. This was the one I think had the most controversy to it.
Yeah. It's controversial to me.
Exactly. Richard, do you want to tell them why?
Because of the whole Joker incident. They kind of just...
It did. It still acknowledged
it, but don't know what really happened.
Exactly.
And you still don't know what really happened.
You don't.
And you didn't see the booster in the background. Oh.
But no, I was never the biggest follower of Birds of Prey, the original Batgirl, and Oracle, but I know the story, and I've always admired the character of Oracle.
Yeah.
I liked what she brought.
But I like Barbara in the Batgirl costume. I read the old stuff. I've always loved her in the costume, and I wanted her back in, so now I have it. So why am I not really happy? Because this isn't a relaunch. It's weird. They're taking what really happened before and bring it now, and I just don't know what's happening.
Exactly. They took the Killing Joke, and they took modern time, and took everything that we know from this area.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
The only thing I didn't like about the book was they basically they erased Oracle.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the book, we see a Batgirl who's not 100% confident in her abilities.
Right. So she's still young, and she's
still young.
But at the same time, the Killing Joke happened, and it just doesn't. I don't know. It's just weird.
It's one I'm going to keep following just to see how it pans out. But so far, that one really hadn't impressed me. Talk about impressing. Detective Comics.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
That was a very interesting read. This is one of the shocker. This was a very well-rounded book. It didn't deal too much in the revamp as much as it did the story.
Yeah, it was just a pure Batman story, and with Joker. And I'm not wanting to say too much, but
no, 2 words, last page.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. Speaking of last page, Animal Man. This was one that I've never been an Animal Man guy. The most I ever knew about Animal Man was from 52. Okay. Buddy Baker.
That wasn't even really Animal Man.
No, he's never been a character that I followed. But this was a recommended book, and I gotta tell you, it shocked me how much I enjoyed this one. You want to talk about dark and spooky and creepy, and you want to talk about a book where the final page, it pretty much made a non-Animal Man fan want to pick up the next issue. For me, at least.
I'm canceling it as 3. Sorry, folks. I just can't get into it.
This is the other thing that I really enjoyed about the whole concept of the 52. People are talking about comics again.
Yeah, and it's this bringing that discussion out because they tweak stuff. Oh, we can't do that,
Exactly.
And it's not bad as a couple times Marvel's done it. So
right, love it or hate it, it's got you talking about it, and it's got you buying books again.
Yeah.
I find myself a few of the books that came out in the last couple weeks, especially Justice League 1, I find myself really wanting to buy them for people I know that I would like to get into comic books.
Right.
I have nephews and nieces and just friends that have put up with my comic book ranting and raving for years and have no idea what I'm talking about. This was the start. This was...
I do want to say one thing. Legion Lost brought up a point that's like a linchpin in case DC wants to change things again.
Yes.
They brought up the whole... Did you read Legion's Lost or not?
Yes.
They actually acknowledged the Flashpoint wall.
Yeah.
So, timeline, Flashpoint happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, stuff might have happened. Not another multiverse, not another universe. Who knows? This is like time goes every which way.
Exactly. I think their other little scapegoat is the Hooded Woman.
Yes.
I thought it was a nice little Easter egg, if you will. When you're reading every issue, every #1 issue had a little tiny cameo by the Hooded Woman we saw at the end of Flashpoint, who knows about Flashpoint.
Right.
She knows that something is not right. Something is not as it was.
It's the modern day version of the Psycho Pirate from back in the 80s.
Exactly.
When the original crisis happened, Psycho Pirate knew everything had happened.
Right.
And then he was locked away in an insane asylum, and that was their key to unlock the universe. So is this going to be their version to unlock the universe or whatever? I want to see what's going to happen with Earth 2.
Yes.
The rumors out of Toronto about Earth 2 is just mind-boggling for me because I'm a total Earth 2 fan. And I just want to see if this is going to be the Earth 2 untouched by Crisis,
right?
Or is this going to be the other Earth 2 that Power Girl found during the 52 storyline, or what's going to happen? You know, I just want to see this.
Is it a multiverse within that multiverse, or is it a multiverse within the grand?
You
know,
what are they going to do?
Exactly. Do we have our old DC universe over here, and then the new Earth 2 over here along with that, or is it's just
we just need a TARDIS to figure this all out. So.
Exactly. we need a Time Lord to just wibbly wobbly DC weesy. You know, it's just. But like I said, it's got people talking. It's got people generally interested,
either liking or hating it.
People
I don't think there's really a middle. They're actually either liking or hating this.
Because before, we like to talk about comic books. Even when like big books came out that we enjoyed, reading on the internet, you'd hear, yeah, I liked it. I liked this. I like that. You'd hear a couple things here and there, love it or hate it. But with the new DC book, it's just like. Everywhere, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's throwing in their 2 cents, including us. I really do. I believe now that DC had the right intentions behind the 52, and it's starting to show.
Right.
Whether or not, this is the first few weeks.
And no one's talking the digital. No one's
really talking about the digital.
And that's kind of surprising me, because I really couldn't get to pick up Justice League the very first day, so I kind of digitized it. I was very interested in this because I was stuck in a hospital looking and stuff. So, I had this app on my phone. Oh, there I have a copy. I was kind of impressed be able to get it like
right
that.
Then and there, yeah.
So, who knows? It's going to work, maybe.
I hope so. So far, I really hope that the new DCU stays as strong as it has been the past couple of weeks.
They're printing for 2 of the books already.
Oh yeah, and they're legitimately selling out.
See, Batgirl and Justice League are the 2 that's on, or no, Action is on 3rd printings already. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of getting the ideas of what people think.
Yeah,
convention season is here.
Yeah, the fall convention season got on a big kickoff last week. We was down at Springfield, Ohio for the Champion City Comic Con's 3rd year. Mm-hmm. It was interesting. Peanut got to interview a bunch of people. We actually did live broadcasts, so hopefully you had a chance to look at that.
That's why I wasn't there, because they did live. Richard hadn't figured out how to do the censor bleep button, because me live, I beep.
And then this weekend, as we film this will be after you see this, will be the Cincinnati Comic Expo. We're invited back down for that. We're going to have some panels and hopefully do some interviews and stuff. Peanut's going down and Jake's going down for that one.
Cool.
And then the big favorite of you and mine is the following weekend is Detroit Fan Fair.
We had so much fun.
And we're going to be there on Sunday, hopefully,
Yep.
if all goes well. We have a little special going on the 24th. Congratulations to Dave and Sarah and stuff. So this is all going to be pretty interesting season. And then after that, there's some stuff going on in October. We got the Wizards Mid-Ohio Con, whatever they're calling that.
Yeah.
And we're going to probably be there filming. We got our press passes almost clarified, so we should be there.
I know, it's like we're legit, you know? It's like...
And then there's a couple other little comic events going on. There's something Bill and those guys are putting together called StarCon, which is the Twilight Star Studios' second anniversary, which will be held at Main Street Comics in Springfield, Ohio. That's going to be on October the 15th, and then on the 16th, a big zombie fest at... I forget the bowling alley. Sorry, guys. It's the Pack Rat Comics is throwing a zombie fest for the premiere of The Walking Dead. So a lot of stuff
Season
going
2.
on. A lot of stuff's going on and stuff. So this is interesting 2 months. So stay tuned to our website for the full list of what's all going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of conventions going on. Even I had to, at one point, go to our website and print out the list of conventions. Like, what am I doing that week? Where am I going that week? Can I make it that week?
Yeah, this fall was pretty big. Almost bigger than the spring this year. And spring was huge this year.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of stuff already lining up for next year. So I don't want to say too much about that and some other stuff. Stay tuned to our website.
Yep. And now for our pick of the week. Kind of changed it up a little bit this week. We're not really doing... I figured since I talked enough about the books, we would change it up a little bit. Richard, the pick of the week?
Thor out on Blu-ray and DVD or combo pack.
Combo.
And 3D.
And
if you have a 3D set. I don't have a 3D. Mike, you don't want...
I am done with 3D.
But we digress. But the DVD itself, everything on this is just phenomenal. There's extras out the wazoo.
Yeah. Not even talking about the movie, just the DVD. The DVD, Blu-ray, what have you, is worth the purchase.
Definitely.
You want to talk about special features. This was jammed pack.
See, there was 8 behind-the-scenes features.
Loved every one of them.
If I remember right. I think there was 8, right?
At least.
Yeah.
I hit the play all. And it was...
And then there was this the special, you know, what was it called? The
Negotiator.
Yeah, that was
a nice... You could tell that was specially made just for the DVD. And any fan of Agent Coulson, and you're going to be very happy with that little...
It ties in a lot of the stuff and gets you set up for the Avengers.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And the biggest feature for me of any DVDs, I love like deleted scenes.
Oh.
This did not disappoint.
And these scenes look like they really shouldn't even be deleted from the movie.
Some of the scenes, not to give anything away, but like with Thor and Loki before the coronation, that should have been left in because there was a nice scene between Thor and Loki, brother to brother.
Right.
That for me should have been left in just because it really showed you that these two adults...
They were brothers.
They
actually showed that.
Yes.
Even though biologically not brothers, but
True,
they grew up as brothers, so it was really cool. And then some of the stuff on the Earth where with the healing stone and stuff with the one professor, you know.
Yes.
That was left out, and that shows why he was more inclined probably what was going on after the movie.
Right.
And why he's really going to be involved trying to get Thor and stuff.
And what was neat I liked too was, especially since the DVD came out, most people have seen Captain America. It made that little snippet at the end of Thor with Agent Coulson and Nick Fury and a little appearance by Loki with the Cosmic Cube. It just made a little bit more sense.
Yes.
It tied it in because you're sitting there watching it for the second time after you've seen Captain America and went, oh. I like that. That was nice.
So you know, they found the Cosmic Cube. So
Yep.
it didn't wind up being lost out there. So.
Yeah. But if you enjoyed the movie Thor at the theater, even if you didn't see it at the theater, the DVD...
Watch it.
For me, it was one of those that, even if you weren't a comic book fan, it's enjoyable.
Oh, definitely.
Very
definitely.
enjoyable.
But it really ties in with the comics a lot. And they talked about in one of the production scenes how they designed Asgard, how they took Jack Kirby's original inspiration and then tied it in. And then, I didn't even realize this, but you look at the town again, they said that they were tying the town in to look like Asgard too. Like the diner thing they were looking at. I didn't even realize that when I first was watching.
The central building with the spire coming out
and
of
it all made sense because it was
Yep.
like Asgard. It was set up. And I go, Yeah.
It's one of the
Except
few.
for the 7-Eleven sitting there.
Yeah, it was one of the few DVDs where the special features, the featurettes, really did enhance the movie for me. Because then after the second time I watched the movie, knowing what I'd learned from the featurettes, I was sitting there going, oh, neat. You know?
Yeah. It made me want to watch it, and now I can't wait till next year. Especially
Yeah.
after the little Avengers.
Yes.
Because at Comic-Con, they filmed some stuff with the lineup of the Avengers, then they added in some special feature, or the actually scenes from the movies and stuff, and hyped it all out of the wazoo, so.
Yeah,
We're
the
all
road
ready.
to the Avengers. That was a very, for like 5-6 minutes, it was a very well put together
Oh, definitely.
little taste of what we can expect.
A teaser.
Of what we can expect to come from the Avengers movies, and it's whet my appetite.
Without
for the
really
Avengers
showing
movie.
anything from the Avengers
No,
movie.
yeah.
But the Cap, can't wait to see that DVD, what they could give away
Oh,
with.
I know.
So this actually makes me want to see that even more, and that comes out, what, October 14th, right?
Yes.
I think, or...
If we're
That's
wrong,
Friday. Yeah, that's right. It's that week
of.
of October, I think.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that, folks. I should have looked that up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but definitely get this.
It was definitely both of our picks of the week. Enjoyable DVD, enjoyable movie. Get a chance to go out, purchase it, buy. Just buy it because it's got the rewatch value.
Oh yeah,
Watch it
definitely.
over and over and over again.
Well, it's been a fun few weeks here.
Yeah.
Sorry we haven't been around a little bit. We've been just so busy and stuff going on. But
A lot to tie in together with one episode, and I think we pulled it off.
oh yeah, so we hopefully be around back to our sort of schedule after the con season's over. So
Stay tuned.